Uh, oh god, my voice. All right, hello. Uh, this is me being mini hazer for a little bit and talking about tier list. God, my voice. Yeah. But this is just me talking about tier list, matchups, all that, because I have an ego, and this is what I think. Okay, so first matchup is Knights versus Warriors. I think that these two teams are like both pretty good. Like I'd say they're in the top four teams right now after their changes. Um, by the way, I'm gonna preface this now. Uh, I don't represent like QSL insanely amount, so anything I say is not a representation of them. Yada yada yada, all that kind of stuff. So also, please do not take anything I say personally here at all. It's just my game at the end of the day. I'm not personally attacking anyone if I think that you are better or worse than someone. Cool. All right. So, Knights versus Warriors. I think both the teams are like super even in terms of skill. I think that Warriors have had like pretty good games against teams, but kind of like fumbled the bag. Um, kind of coming game twos, game threes, trying to like just do the same thing they did game one. And I think Knights after week one, I think their week two they really tightened it up. Kind of played the exact style I wanted them to play, which is just their dive is just better than yours, which I like that. I think out of these two teams, I probably have Knights going over Warriors. I think it's still three games. I think that just might be a Warriors curse, is that they just always take it to three um, against a lot of these good teams. But I think like these are two pretty. I think every matchup like even this week, besides like the donut set, but because it's the donut set. Um, but yeah, I think I have Knights going like 2-1. So we're gonna do that. That's scuffed, but okay, whatever. Whatever. All right. Um, Plebbies versus Prospups. So I was super high on Plebbies after week one because I was like, oh, I scrimmed them and like they were fine. Um, but I think when they got like stomped by Knights, I was like, question mark. Also, I think them putting in Fuego over like Fuego solo and like Geku's jungle instead of Gold Ymir jungle and Geku solo is kind of troll. I think like that team is a lot stronger with Geku's in solo than jungle, but that's just me. I'm not in their comms. I don't know exactly what's happening there. Um, I think, and then I think Frostpups they had like a good week last week, but then again they were against the Donuts, so it's very hard for me to take all that super seriously because I do think Donuts happen to be the weakest team in the division. I think that, like, and it's no disrespect to Frostpups, like, I love all the people on it, but I think that that team is not the best and just happened to look good against Donuts, and that's just my thoughts. Who knows? Maybe they come out, they, like, 2-0 Plebbies. But I have to say that I think Plebbies probably take this one. Like, again, this might be 2-1, might be 2-0. I think that if Plebbies take game one, I don't think they come back for game. I don't think Frostpups come back for game two. Like mentally, I think that it's like a game one, like decides the set type situation. So I'm gonna say that Plebbies 2-0. Me personally, I am okay. So Priest, this is where like actual roster changes come in the face. I forgot to mention with Warriors, I don't know who's playing solo on that team right now. No clue, because Beemore got dropped, and then Covey got dropped. So Priest dropped Covey, Warrior dropped Beemore, Beemore went to Priest. Surprise of the year, and I have no clue who's playing solo for this team. Whoever does, I think that they'll be fine. I think that Beemore was a pretty. I think he was doing well in solo. I think he was just doing the job, which is all you really need right now. Um, but yeah, and I think in terms of Priest, I think this is a situation where they may have went like down in player skill, quote unquote. But I think that helps this Be more helps their team way more than Kobe does, if B More does not try to take over comms like Kobe does. So I think if B More just goes in there, he can be the primary shot caller. He can choose not to be. I think as long as B More does not piss off this team the same way Kobe does, I think this team is fine. I think this team's good. I think they got a little bit better in overall like team cohesion. They got 2-0'd last week by I think Prentices, and then they went 2-1 against Warriors. So I have no clue how to rate this team. Like I want to say in the middle of the pack, but like they shouldn't be middle of the pack. Like looking at the people on it, but I think that's firmly where they are right now. I think that this set will be a good look to see how easily can Pre stop a game, because I think that's what a lot of these donut sets are. It's no disrespect to the donuts, but I think that team struggles with the like basics of Comp Smite right now, which is fine. It's a developmental division. It's fine. It's not the end of the world. But oh, broke it. Oh no. Okay. But I have to call it as I see it. It's just I think that team is definitely gonna struggle. I have to say it's gonna be a 2-0. And then lastly, my set. I think this set is pretty close. IMO. Both teams are undefeated in terms of sets. We had a really sloppy game 1 last week against Warriors. We just like didn't play Smite how we usually do, which for some reason. I think Apprentices have looked like the best team in the division. I think that both teams have a very similar play style. I think both teams are about evenly matched. I think that it's just one of those things of which team shows up and plays their game. I think whichever team is able to keep on to an early game lead and not throw it, I think it's just that's just how it be. I think both teams like know how to play from behind, which is a little bit rare in these divisions, but I think that we're pretty evenly matched. I'm gonna say my ego says it's 2-1. Me personally, but I think it can go either way. I think that both teams are like insanely good. Like I think these are teams number 1 and 2 right here, 100%. I think that like both teams just have good chemistry, good players, the whole lot. But I'm gonna have to say it is going to be a 2-1. But no, okay, edit. I'm sorry. Edit. It's for Shallows, so it's yeah, just shallow stuff, which is pretty. It's me having an ego. That's it. That's all it is. Edit. I should probably pop this up. Why though? Why? Because I feel like it. And the Charlie ego, exactly. Oh, the Charlie ego, because I'm a shitter. That's why. Okay, thank you, Azure. Yes, Joel, this is a Shallows list. I also even got predictions. I know, like I'm production quality insane. Okay, I can be the next mini Hazer. All right, tier list time. Okay, so I'm gonna start from right to left because I feel like it. Also because ADC is like the role I know the least about. So, all right. So for ADCs, let's start at the top and we'll work our way down. So I think ADCs, the really good ADCs right now. Here, let me do this because I know I'm gonna fuck this up at one point. So I'm just gonna move this down one. Perfect. Okay. So I think for ADCs, the really good ones are going to be Sweaty. I think Zapsy's really impressed. Cheslaw's done all right, and I think that is your top 3. I think Zapsy on Olarun. Let's caveat that one. Zapsy on Olarun is really good. I don't like Zapsy on anything not Olarun at the moment. Mind you, he's only not played Olarun 1 game, so sample size of 1 is not always the best. Well, Azure. I think Sweaty's starting this week. That's why. That's something they already said. Um, so yeah, I think that nice knuckle crack. Yeah, I know. Really, I'm, I've been practicing for a while now, but I think, in my opinion, I think Sweaty is 100% out of all these ADCs. I think Sweaty is the best ADC here. I think Sweaty is really consistent. I've played with Sweaty before. He's a gamer. He's a gamer. He will do the ADC job, which I think sometimes with this meta and with the ADCs down here, doing the job is like going above and beyond sometimes. So yeah. And then I probably put Chesla has not been consistent at all, so it's hard for me to put Chesla next. Like I think Chesla like has done okay, so I'm probably gonna do Zap, then Ches, and then probably Guardian. And then from here on out, ADCs are just ADCs. Like I think they're all the same at this point. like, like I could pick any of these and I would not be able to tell the difference. But that's just me. Now Zap has one god. He's not better than Ches, but Ches also only has one god. Sweaty, Ches, Zap. Okay, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I think Ches also only has one god, but I will say I think Ches has won on other gods and Zap has not yet. So yeah, I think this is comfortably how I like things. And then from here, it's like you could pick any of them. I think the only requirement is that Deadlight has to be last. I think he is not looked good in a single game. I think against Frostpups of all teams, going 0-11 or like 1-11 game one is gonna look very bad for you. It's not gonna look good ever. So I think that it's very hard for me to justify, hey, let's put Deadlight higher. It's like, can't really do that. So, fuck you, edit. All right. So I think from here, you could do like, my immediate thoughts are Larabeard, Zoots, Afoggle. I love Afoggle. I think guy's a gamer. I think getting stomped week 2 though is feels bad type of moment. And I think Zoots has been consistent. Zeus has been average. He positions a bit funky, but he's there. He's average. All right. What role do I want to do next? You know what? Mid. We'll do mid. I'm not going to go in any specific order. All right. Where's my... I'm not making a deep sea list. I don't... Like, I know deep sea, but, like, why do I care? That's an Azure thing, okay? Azure can make your deep sea list. Like that's 100% Azure. All right, don't Charlie me, don't Charlie me at it. All right, so mids. All right, so I'm gonna get this one out of the way. I think Hawk is the best mid in this division, and I frankly do not see it as close right now. I think Hawk is kind of playing lights out. I've not seen this man do bad in a single scrim, single set. Guy just works with what he has. You know, winning or losing game. Guy just hits buttons. All I could ask for. He hits buttons. He'll hit buttons better than you. Perfect. That's all I care about. All right. From here, things get a little bit yucky, a little bit icky. So I think it's definitely Ross next, and then from here on out, you could pick your toaster in the other room, and you could make a good point for it. Okay, so I think I know B-More is able to play mid, but the last time he did play mid, it wasn't really like super successful. So I don't know where I'm gonna put him yet. I think my man Diesel's getting costed, but even then, it's like you're on a bad team. It's hard to look good on a bad team. So, I think Nick is fine, Cairo's fine, and I think so. I think I'm probably thinking something like I can put B more here. I can put B more there. I'll be like B more. I think Nick looked good. Then Cairo. And then from here, who the hell do I want to put? Because, like, I don't value Neptune that high. Spoiler alert. I think that Neptune is a product of everyone else around him. I think Neptune is fine in mid, but I think mid is, like, actually, like, kind of close. And I think being just fine in mid is kind of not enough right now. I think mid is, like, super impactful to the game. I think mids are just also super impactful in this division. I think mid, like, jungle mid, your mid 3-3 is, like, the most important thing right now. And I think if you're just fine in it, you're kind of behind. So I think from here, also, why are you italicized? I hate that. Apparently can't make templates correctly. All right. I think I'm probably going to be thinking something like, I want to say Herc, but Herc is not, Herc hasn't really gone up against a team. I kind of do have to say Herc, Diesel, Neptune. Like, it's not disrespect to Neptune, but like, this list is wrong. Put some more respect in Diesel. He is doing his best. Like, I agree. I agree that Diesel is doing his best. Like, him and Soul are like the two like really good players on that team that are just costed by their side lanes. The jungler's fine. They're fine. Not like. So I think that like, it just feels bad because Diesel will look bad because of his team, but like he's a good player. So it's just unlucky. It's just unlucky, really. All right. I'm already here, so I might as well do supports. Okay. So I love Kodiak. I'm gonna say that right now. Kodiak is like one of my favorite players I've played with in a while. They just get it. And that's all I care about. If I yell something, Kodiak is listening. All right. So from here, there are two people. There are Penguin and Jolt. And I think it's not really, I think it's only those two that are anywhere close up here. So you take on one hand, Penguin is still undefeated. And on the other hand, I think Jolt is much more crucial to their team winning. So you get to look at both hands. And I think at the moment, I think Penguin has to be rated a little bit higher because he's just doing a little bit better. I think Jolt is like a big reason why this Priest team like win games, but also getting 2-0'd by apprentices is a feels bad moment, and that's just unlucky. So yeah. Jolt's better mechanically and clears IMO. Yeah, I think I agree with that. Actually, yeah. Now that's a good point. Honestly, good point. Penguin, I think Penguin, God, like dying right now. All right, I think Penguin is, his position kind of weird. Like, I don't love his positioning ever. He's very like in there all the time, and if he had like a slightly worse team, I don't think he gets away with it as much. I think like, so yeah, I agree with that, Azure. I was Joke doesn't talk confirmed. Love that. All right, so from here on out. By the way, after Penguin, it's kind of like huge gap. Like you could like take any of them here. What I'm thinking is it's between Joy, Soul for 4 and 5. I'm gonna put Joy because Joy has found more success, but I think Soul is followed right thereafter. I think Soul has looked really good. There's been like moments where Soul has just like kind of got it, where like everything just clicks in the brain. But like once again, it's a Diesel type situation. If your team is, if your side lanes are like 1 in 22 game 1, it becomes very hard to win a smite game. There's no gap between Soul and Penguin. Soul just doesn't have a team besides Diesel. Correct. Put it blank for donuts and just put them last on the list. I think that the issue is Soul, like, I think the difference between Soul and Penguin is, yes, their teams. I also just think I value Penguin's like a bit more experience in comp than Soul. So Penguin is a lot more decisive. Even if Penguin's positioning is like kind of funky, kind of weird, still, he's a lot more decisive in calls. He's louder in comms from what I've experienced with him. All right, so from here, I think Buckwheat has to be put here. Who is left in supports? Oh yeah, this is easy. Bam Bam, Logic. No disrespect to Logic, but if you're kind of doing nothing on Kepri of all gods, I can't really rate you that highly. It's just unlucky. It's just unlucky at that point. All right, so jungle time. All right. Once again, starting top to bottom. So we have Auberg and Timbo. I think Auberg has looked a lot better than Timbo. And I think that that alone just kind of have to put Auberg first. Love Auberg. He's a gamer. There's no Soul just in team set. I think Soul 4, then a gap. I think Joy's done well though. I think Joy's like played well. I think like Joy is trying their best with their backline. Because I think honestly, I think their backline is why these Knights teams can kind of throw games, because their dive, like the enemy team's dive, just like doesn't die ever. Like I never, especially like game 2 of my set week 1, I just didn't feel threatened if I was sitting in their backline. Like I didn't. I felt like I was just able to sit there the whole time, and Timbo had kind of the same feeling. So I think Joy was trying their best. I think Joy has performed all right, but I think I'm still putting Joy over Soul, no matter what. 17K gold lead, comma. However, I still believe that I love Soul. I love Soul. I'm not a Soul hater. I love Soul, but Soul, no comma. That's a team issue. It is a team issue, but like I don't think it's like solely a Joy issue. Soul almost came back from the same lead. That is true. You know what? You convinced me, because they did almost come back from the same lead. There you go, Jar. There we go. Soul clears. Alright. I'm okay with that. So, back to jungle. From here on out, there's a bit of a gap under Timbo, IMO, but I think that it's probably going to be Sneaky. I think Sneaky and Rim are kind of like the two people getting it done on this team. And I don't think it's like, I think those are your hard carries, and Sneaky has looked really good in games. Mind you, game 1, week 1, 17k gold lead throw, unlucky. I think he was playing Fenrir though, so like, I think so. So it's a bit hard to do something late game with that. However, I think Sneaky last week looked like really good. Like him and Rim were just dive diffing like every single person in that game. So from there, what in the hell do I want to put people? Because I think Lethal didn't look great on Quang, and I think that's an issue. Also, let me just move, because I think Fenris played. Bam. See? So smart. Alright. So, I think Fenris looked fine. He looked fine. He was doing alright. He did fine. I can't really value Zoroark that high up there. Okay, hold on. Let me make things easier for myself real quick. Let me do the bottom. We'll do something like this. No, that just doesn't look right. I do kind of have to do this. I think that's my thoughts. And then it's either lethal or Fenris. Lethal about to become a menace. My top tier jungler coaching. I don't know, man. He played Ass and Kwong. I'm not banning it against you in AGL. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I think lethal not looking great on Quang is like kind of troll. I think it's Quang is one of those cards that played itself right now, especially down here. I think you should be looking good on Quang no matter what. So for that alone, I think I'm gonna do Fenris over lethal. I've heard good things to lethal, so I'm sure he'll turn up the rest of the season, but like just haven't seen it yet. All right, solos. I'm gonna get this one out of the way. Yeah, I don't think Ecstasy is all that great. I think Ecstasy is a big reason why this Donuts team is getting costed so hard. Their side lanes are just not the best at the moment, is what I will say about that. I think that Ecstasy is struggling like the fundamentals when it comes to how to build and how to play comp, and I'm hoping that he learns soon. Cross my fingers. All right. So from here, if I'm looking at solo laners, I'm gonna put TBA because I don't know who is there. Like it's gonna be impossible for me to rank that. So we have from the bottom, we have Slick, Geckers, and that is it for the bottom here. So I'm probably gonna put Slick, then Geckers, because I think I liked the way that Geckers has looked in solo. So just put Geckers in solo. Like Geckers is able to get the job done in solo. And then from here, it is it's either Evil Eyes or Rim. On one hand, I've seen Rim play. On the other hand, I haven't seen Evil Eyes play. He's alright. Wait, wrong. Ecstasy, then literally no one though. Let's see. Who am I putting next? Because I have no like Joel, I'm gonna be real, I have not seen your solo laner play like at all. So I have no clue what the hell they do. Like you could tell me that they are like the biggest insert ever and I'd believe you right now. Or you could tell me that they're like the biggest fragger in the world and I'd believe you. Evil Eyes under Rim. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Because I've seen Rim play. Like, playing against Rim. He played Rat solo. He plays super passive early and plays well in team fights. Oh, so he's... Rim single-handedly carried Knights to win the set win week 2. Yeah, I think him and Sneaky just kind of did God's work. Yeah, he does fine in lane. Okay. That's all I really need to know. Because I think right now... laning phase doesn't really matter, and it's a lot about your team fights, but I think these top 3 anyways have good team fights. Like, no one in this top 3 is throwing their team fights and not playing their team fights well. Rim needs to be tanky. Rim, if you're listening to this, please stop building full damage solos. Trust me, you look better on these tanky fuckers, okay? Like, every solo laner, like, in this division is going to look better on tanky people than squishy people. And never build full damage floor in solo. Please and thank you. All right. From here, just because... All right. I'm going to put line over me. I'm going to do this. Line is going over me. Because line has not almost costed his team a game yet. I have. So, but Cleo. But edit. Yeah, so his starter was not it. Who's starter? Joel. Egotistical Charlie top 2. Yeah, I'm not putting myself under a lot of people. Huge ego. I know. I opened this with saying I have a huge ego. Evil Eyes. Yeah. I don't know. I think starter is like kind of right now. So, but yeah, I think starter plays himself. So if you're not having like a good game on starter and it's a good starter game, then well, shit. plays too slows for him. He plays too slow for him. I don't think Sitter plays that slow, but all right. But back to this. I think Line is over me right now because Line has not gone 1-8 in the game. So, and that's plain and simple of it. Line's just played better. If we're talking MVPs, all right, we're doing something like I think it's Auberg for this team. I'm up. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna make it look aesthetically pleasing. I'm gonna do this in this order. So, Auberg right here. I think Hawk is definitely my team's MVP for right now. I love it. 1-8 and you put yourself top 2. Yeah. Oh no, Evil Eyes plays too slow for Sitter. Oh, okay. Oh, I thought you were saying Sitter was. I'm like, I don't think he's that slow to play. 1-8, you put yourself top 2. Yes, 100%. I won a game while, vomiting at that point. So I'll put myself top 2. I'll ego myself. And if I get shit on in subsequent weeks, I think it makes it all the better, all the more sweeter even, because then it's like, wow, that Charlie guy, shitter. Anyways, back to this. Okay, I think Rim is MVP for this team. Donuts is, I'll say, I'm a Soul fan. I'm a Souls fan. They lost their MVP because I think P-More was doing the most on that team. So I'm gonna just say Nick. Plemmies, I'll say Buck. I don't know a lot about this team right now. I talked to them a bunch week 1. Week 2, didn't talk to them as much. And then Frostpups Priest. Let's see. Let us see. Joel, just because you're in there, bam. You're going right there. And then Frostpups. Who is doing good on this team? Who is the reason that this team is like doing so well? You could say Zero, you could say Herc. Bam Bam's only played look good on like one god. You know what? I'll say the ADC. I haven't said an ADC yet. I'll say ADC. Bam. That's your MVPs. I'll do points later. I don't feel like doing points. But yeah. That's that. We stole the legend from them. I mean, yeah, I think B-More was like just I think B-More was just doing the most on that team. Like plain and simple. In game 1 where they looked really good against us, it was mainly B-More creating space and, making it a pain in the ass to play. Made it so our backline couldn't play the game as much. Played the game right. They also outpicked and banned us that game because I'm a dumbass, but that's about it. Yeah, that's the list. Here it is. This is exactly my thoughts right now. Here are my predictions. Yeah, I think this week is like actually a good week for this division. I think every matchup is like has the potential of being close, besides this one because it's a donut set. But I think that this will still be a good look to see how B-More looks in mid, because it might be Kobe 2.0, and it'd be funny. It'd be funny. It'd be funny if it's Kobe 2.0, but I doubt it will be. But yeah, that's it. That's the list. Have a good day. You know what? Just have a good day.